Coffee is one of our flagship cash crops.
In the hills of Bugisu, coffee is more than a crop. It is a way of life passed down from generation to generation. But for many smallholder farmers, especially women and youth, the land they cultivate is not theirs.
Women, youth, and men have no equal opportunities because in most cases, unless otherwise, if say for instance we talk about youth, unless maybe your parents passed on and then you were able to inherit either a farm of coffee.
Then the women, unless if you made your own money, bought this land, registered it legally, and you own it. You can never have a coffee plantation that is fully yours.
If a woman wants to plant, you have to beg the husband to give you land. But at the end of the day, the husband is the one who takes to the market.
More authority or more powers are always in the hands of what? In the hands of men.
They grow the coffee, but they do not control the price. They are price takers in a system dominated by middlemen.
The price is not fair as a farmer because you will discover that in between there are people whom we term as middlemen. Then this middleman will come and buy at a considerable, at a lower price as a farmer. Sometimes you can do a lot of work, but at the end of the day, what you get is just what? Minimum.
When the market dips, so do their hopes.
One of the issues that we've engaged on and worked on is the issue of making the coffee value chain work for all, but also improving the coffee value chain. And such efforts have involved or included mobilizing of farmers, smallholder coffee farmers, that include both men and women and the youth, but also engaging on some of the emerging policy initiatives and directives.
As a farmer, I have attended some dialogues in Kampala, whereby CRTN is trying to ensure that maybe government can set up a price. CRTN is saying that, but how, as a government, how do we regulate the pricing of the coffee so that the farmers can benefit? How can government help farmers to improve on the production of coffee and also the quality of coffee?
In response to these challenges, CRTN Uganda, the Southern and Eastern Africa Trade Information and Negotiation Institute stepped in with the Fair for All Coffee Value Chain project. The initiative trained community members like Jen, helping farmers better understand the coffee market, know their rights, and strengthen their voices in trade and policy spaces.
As a monitor and as a farmer, we thank CRTN because CRTN has trained us as monitors. CRTN has engaged farmers with the other stakeholders in the value chains, because when I can mention CRTN, we had a dialogue meeting in Rosso, we had dialogue meetings in Nyondo, we had dialogue meetings in Usana, we had dialogue meetings at the district level.
Through these trainings, farmers learned how to calculate the value of their produce and negotiate better prices. They are no longer selling blindly. They are asking questions, making demands, and slowly shifting from being price takers to informed sellers.
Now I can process my coffee and keep it, store it well, waiting for a good price compared to the first where I used to do without a training.
Whatever touches coffee, including changes in prices, affect not only coffee farmers or value chain actors, but also the country at large. The foreign exchange earnings reduce, job opportunities reduce. The changes, especially reduction in coffee prices, also means that it will deter long-term investment in the coffee sector. Some farmers might choose to cut down their trees, which is very bad and unfortunate.
Still, the challenges remain. Buyers offer inconsistent prices and most farmers can't afford to wait.
Sometimes when you are financially constrained, you cannot even look at those prices. You need the money. Even if somebody comes and says the kilo is 5,000 and the child is sick, will you wait for the prices? You pick that money.
We thrive on the misfortunes of Brazil. When they have frost, the prices are high, but we should stop thriving on the misfortunes of Brazil. We should begin to think about our own way forward with regard to this industry.
Jen, a community mentor trained by Siatini, explains how difficult it is to predict income from coffee.
Because you wake up in the morning, you say, the coffee now, today we are buying at 13,000. You wake up the next day, you go to a middleman or to the person saying, today I'm buying at 10,000.
She recalls seasons when farmers rushed to sell during low price periods, losing money and morale. That's why many are now calling for policy change.
They should ensure that UCDA is independent. It has now been cocooned in the Ministry of Agriculture. UCDA used to move to community and at least give us information about the prices. It's no longer there. I don't know whether they stopped working or they are still working. And yet, the work it was doing was more of farmer-based. Now when they are there for us, we cannot even hear from them. We don't know the new quality, the new seedlings of coffee. We don't know what is growing well and what is not. So it is a big challenge.
Whoever grows coffee is affected by price fluctuations. So what do we need to do? We need to encourage everyone growing coffee to grow it as a business with innovations. We should look at productivity per unit area. What is it that we need to be able to live a good life using the available land that we have? So we need to include innovations, value addition, growing coffee with complementary crops that can bring in extra income, so that at the end of the day, when the price falls, you are able to sell at that price and still be able to live.
They want the return of cooperatives to protect them from exploitation.
If the government can be able to encourage cooperatives, that would be super.
A lot of jobs were generated in the cooperative movement. Let us go back to these fundamentals.
And most of all, they want a seat at the table when coffee policies are being shaped.
I want a government to involve farmers when they are making their policies, so that we are involved and we participate.
Siatini affirms that the coffee sector cannot be transformed without the input of farmers.
So one of the issues that we could, as a country, take up seriously and upscale is the issue of value addition. We are leveraging technology to be able to support our farmers and make the coffee sector thrive beyond surviving, and also be able to address the current issue, the most pressing issue of price volatility.
The organization is focused on empowering producers, especially women and youth, to understand trade systems, navigate pricing dynamics, and speak up in decision-making spaces.
In their advocacy, at least they have directed me the stakeholders of coffee in this coffee value chain. I can engage the district, the sub-county, the extension workers, and all those in the coffee value chain. Even the information they give us in terms of prices, the global market, the EU directives has helped me improve my coffee farming.
The Fair for All project is building a fairer value chain where farmers are not just producers, but negotiators and influencers.
Now the farmers are trying to know their rights. They are also trying to know that these services they can demand from government. There is one time we visited a sub-county, the farmers rejected some agricultural inputs, which were fake.
A fairer coffee economy begins with the farmer, with access to knowledge, a voice in policy, and the right to institutional support. Uganda's smallholder farmers can rise above reclaim control and brew a future that benefits them first.
There should be flexible policies in agricultural funding and accessing loans for farmers.
If insurance should also be put in place, because with agriculture, especially in the areas of coffee, there are some risks. If it can be insured, if the government can be able to encourage that, then at the same time, of course, this would be able to boost the farmer in case there is loss.
If coffee is processed here, even a younger farmer will know that coffee is not for export only, but it is a drink.
With Siatini walking beside them, the future is already brewing.